the quest to get each hero to rep 9.
So you can perk out all your heroes and then get them their drip.
Pretty much.
The quest for drip.
What'd you say?
Master Dripper.
Master Dripper. Grandmaster Dripper. That's what you gotta call him.
Grandmaster Dripper.
I'm only a copper in dripology.
Dripology.
Well, Cameron said I look like the floor of a bowling alley.
You look like the carpeted backside of a public bus from 1995.
I know. I realize it's been over 3 months since my last post, but before you blaze me for that, I was genuinely very busy. As mentioned in my Medjay video, I was a pre-med student. Over the last few months, I was extremely busy finishing up my final term of college and getting my degree, so I was totally focused on that. Although I'm looking for a job now, I have had a little bit of time to work on this newest video for you all, and I would like to say thank you for your continued support and patience. Jumping right into everything, today's video will be all about the Warlord. I realized that Warlord has been requested a few times, and he's also the favorite pick of one of my longtime buddies, Cameron. This is a picture of Cameron. It probably doesn't surprise you that he delights in the title of a Warlord main, so I thought it would be fun to ask for his input, as well as his shenanigans, for the making of today's video. If I've learned anything about playing Warlord, it's that he can be described as easy to understand, hard to master. His kit is incredibly simple. There isn't really anything complicated to his moveset, as it never really pushes above understanding the basic mechanisms of the game. However, in a bizarre way, this simplicity is the Warlord's greatest strength. To steal a direct quote from Cameron, Warlord is so simple that it actually works to your advantage because nobody expects you to make the most basic or obvious decisions. As a personal anecdote, I remember back in the day when the Warlord was widely considered as one of, if not the worst hero in the game. He was essentially a meme pick, or used for newer players who wanted to understand a simpler character. However, those who actually mained Warlord understood the bad light of their character, and so they became insanely good. Not just with Warlords, but also at For Honor in general. It was a joke for some time that you wouldn't want to run into the insane Warlord player because they were seemingly impossible to take down. The old days of For Honor were certainly a funny place to be. Warlord is also a little different in that he's never really received a full-blown rework. Don't get me wrong, he certainly had many buffs and minor changes, but nothing drastic. At his core, the Warlord's kit has always remained the same. A basic kit, but effective. Moving right along to the moveset, despite its simplicity, the Warlord has a little bit of everything, which is what allows him to be so successful. He has simple 2-hit chains of any combination of lights or heavies. All heavies have hyper armor, and his light attacks have crushing counters. He's also got a neutral bash, which guarantees him a follow-up light, just like many other heroes. As for his defensive options, he has a full guard countered light attack, and a parry counter. The parry counter is probably the most advanced move Warlord has, simply because I see a lot of Warlords forget to use it. After a parry, you can press the guard break button to smack your opponent in the face with your shield, and doing so does 3 things for you. It stuns your opponent, inflicts 30 stamina damage, and guarantees a follow-up light attack. I have found it to be my favorite part of his kit, but when fighting other Warlords, I don't see it used that often, despite its many benefits. Warlord also has an undodgeable attack. Well, technically he has 2 of them, but one can be much trickier to make use of. His first undodgeable is simply his zone attack, which comes from the Warlord's left side. His other undodgeable can only be used from his full guard stance and by pressing heavy attack. Although the attack comes out at a decent speed against newer players, I would caution the use of this move against experienced players for a variety of reasons. For one, it's slower than the average light attack speed, so it's relatively easy to parry or deflect for veteran players. Additionally, this undodgeable can only be thrown from the left side, so more experienced players tend to expect the attack and protect their right side. Because of this, I rarely use the move unless I really feel the situation calls for it. Usually, when I enter full guard, I will throw a light attack from a different direction, since opponents are expecting me to throw the undodgeable heavy, and it's proven fantastic for throwing them off. However, the undodgeable zone is something I like to use, and I usually do so immediately following the finisher of attack chains. It's not uncommon for players to use distance against Warlord, as he is a very short-ranged hero, so the undodgeable keeps your enemies right where you want them. It is also able to break through guard break attempts, which is certainly an added bonus. As some final add-ons to Warlord, he has side dodge light attacks and has 2 different sprinting attacks. While sprinting, press the guard break button and the Warlord will use a bash move, which will carry his opponents for quite the ride and severely displace them. You can also use this move as a throw variant after guard breaks, which stuns and drains your opponent's stamina if you are able to wall splat them. The other sprinting attack is a simple, leaping, top-heavy attack which gains hyper armor. Just like the other sprinting attack, you can also do the same move in a variant form by simply inputting a dodge forward heavy.
I got it.
For some pro tips on Warlord, when using his heavy sprint attack or his dodge forward heavy attack, you can chain a headbutt bash immediately after, which grants you a follow-up light if it lands. Unfortunately, this bash is the only thing you can do after these moves as a true chain, so smarter players are usually ready to dodge it. However, sometimes you can bait people into a dodge and open them up into a guard break instead of your bash.
Victory!
Speaking of guard breaks, it is important to note that as a Warlord, your max punish on a normal guard break is a top heavy, as your side heavies are too slow and can be blocked. The only way around this is to throw your opponent into a wall, which wall splats them, and gives you the side heavy if you are fast enough. But there you have it, folks. This is the Warlord's entire moveset. As you can see here, it's very basic, but that also means you have some room to be creative. An experienced Warlord is never going to allow his opponents to see predictable attacks. Am I going to throw a light or a heavy? Backstep light into hyper armor heavy? Neutral bash? Full guard with light attack from a random side? Neutral heavy with hyper armor with a follow-up feint to bait for a crushing counter? Again, his strength lies in his simplicity, but this is why truly mastering the character takes some dedication. Moving on to Warlord's feats, he doesn't have anything unique specifically to him, so I'll just quickly list off all his feat options and which ones I prefer to run. His tier 1s are Speed Revive, Rush, and Deadly. His tier 2s are Bear Trap, Juggernaut, and Flesh Wound. His tier 3s are Fury, Tough as Nails, and Punch Through, and his tier 4s are Regenerate, Auto Revive, and Fire Flask. As for my preferred loadout, I run Deadly, Juggernaut, Fury, and Fire Flask. Deadly gives a little boost of damage here and there, which is nice. Juggernaut is just a very strong tier 2 in general. I will never say no to increased damage output with Fury, and Fire Flask is, well, Fire Flask. Need I say more? Of course, the Bear Trap can be useful and memeable. Speed Revive can be helpful in certain settings. Regenerate is a solid tier 4 as well, and Tough as Nails is fun to pair with the perk Bulk Up, which transforms you into an absolute unit. The first 4 that I mentioned are just what I tend to run when optimizing my preferred loadout. The last thing I will say about the Warlord is how much of a meme he is. There's something I can't quite explain, but playing him instills a sense of goofiness that a lot of other heroes can't quite give off. Kim and I certainly had a blast messing around with Warlord and fulfilling our silly side. Of course, fulfilling our silly desires comes at the cost of an inevitable montage of the buffoonery Kim and I enjoy, which I will unapologetically share with you now.
Start this off with a fine. After hitting me,
He's still handed in it. Oh, I got another Bear Trap. Let's see if he lands this one too. Oh, yes. Hit it! Put another one down. Gotta keep bashing this guy. Yes! This can say he gets revenge just from being run with on a shield. Cameron, your Bear Trap just let me kill that guy. Nice.
you want to know what I just did?
I don't know how you killed him, but I heard his death sound, so I know you killed him.
I never locked on, so he couldn't parry me. I was just throwing neutral open lanes.
I got hit by the ballista. Our teammate hit me. Come on. Yes. Come on. Oh, that's another bomb.
The cliff.
That would be amazing, though.
Landle.
I'll bait him. Let me go out and bait one of them. Bait this guy. Like, I want him to take chase after me. Okay, get ready. The Fierce here. She's in. Pull it. Yes, it worked!
We won that game!
Wow.
Out. You okay?
Boom. Look at that.
Yeah! The insane warlords!
Before we end today's video, just a few quick things to wrap up. As always, keep on letting me know in the comments what hero you want to see me make a video on next. Furthermore, I've had multiple questions about the fashion on my characters, and I plan on making a short video showcasing my heroes in the near future. It will be super casual, and I'll show off everything I run in my loadouts, and hopefully y'all will enjoy the fashion taste. I would also like to thank Cameron for putting up with me throughout the making of this video, and for performing some of the dumbest Warlord strategies known to man. You can check out his own channel in the link below. I would like to thank you all so very much for watching and for your continued support. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.